In this week's program, we're visiting with Deputy Director Scott Peterson, and we're talking about the upcoming Spring Game and Fish Advisory Board meetings. I'm Mike Anderson with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. Scott, every spring and fall, advisory board meetings across the state are held. What is the Game and Fish Advisory Board, and what are these meetings about?
So, yeah, it's a good way to kick this discussion off, Mike. The Game and Fish Department has 8 advisory board members across the state of North Dakota, and they are all appointed by the governor. And there's a really good balance among that mix because 4 of them are required to be bona fide farmers or ranchers, and 4 of them, the other 4 then are represented by wildlife clubs across the state. And so they are required to have 2 meetings per year in each of their respective districts. So it's on the onus of the advisory board member to set up the meetings. And again, each of them are responsible for several counties. And so the time frame we look at typically is mid to late April, and then again, usually in late October or through November, early December.
Scott, these are public meetings. These are open to the public for the people in their districts.
And they're designed actually to gather input from our hunting and fishing constituents across the state and just to see what they're thinking. We hear about a lot of issues across the state of North Dakota. And the meetings are, they're always, they start at 7 o'clock local time and typically run for a couple of hours. And by design, the first hour is set up specifically to gather input from the attendees to see what's on their minds. And so we'll, right around 8 o'clock, we'll give that at least an hour. And in the second hour, then we try to set aside to get information out to the public about things that we want to talk about.
What type of topics will the Game and Fish Department be talking about during the spring meetings?
Well, because we'll be just nearly wrapping up another legislative session, we'll obviously want to give a legislative update. We're not going to talk about every bill that we tracked, but at least give a highlight of some of the more pertinent ones. We're going to have a fisheries update, obviously, because in the spring meetings will typically generate more fishing discussion than the fall meetings, because the fall meetings are usually like right after the deer gun season is over. And so those will generate a lot of deer hunting type questions. We're going to have something we started a couple of years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, we're going to have an enforcement update from each area. Those have been well received by the public. Those will be informational, educational. We're also going to talk a little bit about, give an update on our State Wildlife Action Plan, which is a plan that needs to be revised every 10 years, updated every 10 years, and that basically comes up with a plan to address our species of greatest conservation need here in North Dakota. And so, yeah, and we'll have folks at the meetings that can answer any type of question.
You do like a big game update too, as far as what's happening with our surveys and things.
I think we always do a big game update, Mike, just because it's a topic of concern and across the state. So there will be a big game update. It'll cover a broad range of topics, including recent survey results, population trend data, and you might even get a little bit of a feel for what you can expect for deer license numbers. Not that they're going to be, necessarily official at that time, but people, I think, will get an idea what we're looking at in terms of deer license numbers for the coming fall.
Technology, Scott, we've done this a few times over the years. The Bismarck one will be live streamed again.
It'll be live streamed, and so if for some other reason you want to attend and one of the meetings, but you can't because you maybe have a conflict, the Bismarck meeting, which will be the evening of April 22nd, I believe it's a Tuesday night, that one will be live streamed. And so if you can't make one of the other meetings, you're always welcome and encouraged to participate in that as well.
If somebody wants to find out a date and location in their district, where can they go to find that information?
The best place that I would recommend, Mike, would be gf.nd.gov, and our website will have all the locations and times. Times are always at 7 o'clock local time. So
a lot of great information, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.